Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Jack Ruland in Skycam 16, meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Tim Carlson Sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Good evening, I'm Karen Harch. Nolan Johannes has the night off. It looks good, real good, that Mack Trucks will keep its headquarters and thousands of jobs in the Lehigh Valley. Negotiators for Mack and the United Auto Workers Union International have reached what they call a tentative understanding on a new contract. They met for almost 4 days in Crystal City, Virginia, trying to come up with an agreement to save jobs in 3 states, including Pennsylvania. The understanding was reached at 6:30 this morning, and it was thumbs up. Mack had threatened to move its headquarters and those jobs out of Allentown if a contract agreement was not reached. That would be devastating to the Lehigh Valley. Needless to say, the mayor of Allentown is elated.
Now it looks like, at least for another 5 or 6 years, we're guaranteed that we're the truck capital of the world. Mack's headquarters will stay in Allentown, and the jobs will be assured.
We have agreements that they won't close any plants during the next 5.5 years. They won't outsource. They won't phase down. They won't transfer work. That's a part of the job security program that we've put together.
We're told some things still must be worked out with the local unions, but negotiators say they're happy and hopeful. Recent layoffs at this Luzerne County shoe factory have prompted reports that even more people may lose their jobs, but the Revelation Shoe Corporation says those reports are just not true. Officials say the layoffs at the factory in Exeter are nothing more than a transition because different lines of women's shoes will now be made here. It's the former Rex Shoe Factory, bought last November by an Australian company. The workforce here has dwindled from nearly 300 workers to about 100. The company tells Newswatch 16 many of those laid off will be called back, but some will not. And we're also told, contrary to rumors, the plant in Exeter is not closing.
Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Jack Ruland in Skycam 16, meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Tim Carlson Sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Good evening, I'm Karen Harch. Nolan Johannes has the night off. It looks good, real good, that Mack Trucks will keep its headquarters and thousands of jobs in the Lehigh Valley. Negotiators for Mack and the United Auto Workers Union International have reached what they call a tentative understanding on a new contract. They met for almost 4 days in Crystal City, Virginia, trying to come up with an agreement to save jobs in 3 states, including Pennsylvania. The understanding was reached at 6:30 this morning, and it was thumbs up. Mack had threatened to move its headquarters and those jobs out of Allentown if a contract agreement was not reached. That would be devastating to the Lehigh Valley. Needless to say, the mayor of Allentown is elated.
Now it looks like, at least for another 5 or 6 years, we're guaranteed that we're the truck capital of the world. Mack's headquarters will stay in Allentown, and the jobs will be assured.
We have agreements that they won't close any plants during the next 5.5 years. They won't outsource. They won't phase down. They won't transfer work. That's a part of the job security program that we've put together.
We're told some things still must be worked out with the local unions, but negotiators say they're happy and hopeful. Recent layoffs at this Luzerne County shoe factory have prompted reports that even more people may lose their jobs, but the Revelation Shoe Corporation says those reports are just not true. Officials say the layoffs at the factory in Exeter are nothing more than a transition because different lines of women's shoes will now be made here. It's the former Rex Shoe Factory, bought last November by an Australian company. The workforce here has dwindled from nearly 300 workers to about 100. The company tells Newswatch 16 many of those laid off will be called back, but some will not. And we're also told, contrary to rumors, the plant in Exeter is not closing. Scranton officials have come up with a plan to improve a section of the city and save lives. Newswatch 16's Bob Reynolds is live now in West Scranton, where that announcement was made today. Bob?
Well, Karen, the key to the life-saving project is this empty field in West Scranton, which has been vacant now for about 20 years. You can get a better look at the tract of city-owned property from Skycam 16. City officials plan on selling the land to a developer who will build and then sell 21 homes.
And we're at a time now where the interest rates are very low, and we have a demand on the part of the people in the city who want to build homes, and we'll be able to assist them that way.
Besides building homes and getting rid of a favorite illegal dumping ground, city officials tell me that the big advantage of this project is not actually here. What the city plans on doing is taking the money it gets for the property to make safety improvements here at the Neog Gorge area. About 20 people have lost their lives here, many of them swimming. The city believes making the gorge area more accessible to the public is the key to keeping swimmers out of the dangerous waters.
One of the reasons this area is so exciting to the kids to be swimming down there is the fact that it's very inaccessible.
Now, Scranton city officials say they plan on opening bids on this tract of property sometime next month. They'll then be in a position to pick a developer. At that point in time, they'll have about $60,000 extra dollars in the city coffers, which they will then pump into safety improvements at Neog Gorge. Bob Reynolds, Newswatch 16, with a live Instacam report in West Scranton. Karen?
Thank you, Bob. You won't believe the pictures we're going to show you next, and two neighbors in Peckville don't believe what happened this afternoon either. This is a brand new car, half submerged in a brand new swimming pool behind the Frank Gilhardy home on Flora Drive in Peckville. And no one can really figure out how the car got there. You see, the car was apparently parked and locked when it somehow started to roll downhill, headed for the water. From Skycam 16, you can see what happened, even if no one can figure out why. The car was parked in front of the Botek family home on Kingsley Road when it somehow got rolling. It picked up speed as it rolled down through two backyards, cut under a fence, and into the water. As we said, no one was in the car, and fortunately, no one was in the way. One neighbor said it's actually a good thing the car went into the drink. There's no telling where the car would have wound up if the pool hadn't brought it to a stop. And there's no telling how the Gilhardys are going to get the car out of the water and the water out of the car. The state says it wants to turn over the Ashland State General Hospital to private control. That brought negative reaction from the state's largest employees union. Newswatch 16's Bob Costantini was in Schuylkill County when the announcement was made.
Welfare Secretary John White says it's time to let a community board take control of a hospital losing $1 million a year. The process, known as divestiture, would give the board ultimate control, while Good Samaritan Hospital of Pottsville would manage what's now Ashland State General.
The new community board and Good Samaritan intend to keep every employee who wants to stay, and they intend to recognize and negotiate with the current bargaining units.
We got the best contract in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, probably the best in the United States. I'm sure they can't match that. There are going to be concessions.
The American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees is disappointed with the Casey administration's decision, especially since the union supported candidate Bob Casey. AFSCME represents 150 hospital workers, from licensed practical nurses and nursing assistants.
I think we're going to have a lot to lose. I really do.
To maintenance and food service workers.
I'm here 21 years, so I really would like to stay in with the state.
AFSCME is vowing to fight legislation that would make divestiture here a reality. The hospital's other union, the Pennsylvania Nurses Association, representing registered nurses, has come out in favor of divestiture. In fact, the local bargaining unit of that union has already started contract talks with the community board. Bob Costantini, Newswatch 16, Ashland State General Hospital.
Traffic is moving once again on the East Bloomsburg Bridge in Columbia County. After divers checked out the piers, officials decided it is safe to reopen the span between Bloomsburg and Catawissa Township. So they did this morning at 10. The East Bloomsburg Bridge was closed 2 weeks ago today because officials were afraid that what happened at the Milton Bridge could happen here. While we're on the subject, the same divers who checked out the East Bloomsburg Bridge will spend the next day or two looking at the good section of the Milton Bridge. That's the part that stretches from Union County to the state park on an island. Skycam 16 was overhead today. They'll check to see if it's safe enough to reopen that stretch of the bridge so people can get to the state park. Another section of the Milton Bridge collapsed into the Susquehanna River last month. When Newswatch 16 continues, cancer concerns over a chemical in gasoline. We'll have a Health Watch report. Plus, Action 16 will help a Luzerne County woman who says her troubles began when she got out of the hospital.
Where can you find a great night out for the whole family? At Rich's Golf Center in Wyoming, everyone will enjoy a leisurely game of 18-hole miniature golf. The golfers in the family can practice their swing on the spacious driving range. Later, see if you can hit a fastball in the batting cages or test your skills in the arcade room. At Rich's Golf Center, there is something that everyone in the family will enjoy. So come on out and treat your family to a night out at Rich's Golf Center on Wyoming Avenue in Wyoming, across from the Midway Shopping Center, open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Simplicity would like to take you for a quick spin. The maneuverable new Sunrunner, the first front-cut rear-steer riding mower priced for the homeowner. Now at your Simplicity dealer.
A Luzerne County viewer says it's when she got out of the hospital that her troubles began, insurance troubles. In fact, before Action 16 stepped in, she found herself on the short end of a $3,000 medical insurance claim. Jerry Gartenberg is live now in his office to explain what happened. Jerry?
Well, it wasn't all that easy, Karen, to solve this problem, but, you know, when you get out of the hospital, as Helen Boyer of Plymouth did, you like to think you can just concentrate on getting all better. Well, instead, the Luzerne County woman spent some of her time worrying about insurance money.
Everybody kept pushing me. They kept saying to me, you've got a couple $1,000 coming to you, Helen. Fight for it.
Helen Boyer is fighting to stay on her own 2 feet now that she's had her hip operation. But for a year and a half, she fought a losing battle to get more than $3,000 from her insurance company, American Independent Insurance of Wilkes-Barre. The money was to cover hospital bills, but the insurance company turned down the claim, saying it was sent in way past the deadline. Helen Boyer is not mad at the insurance company. She's mad at the hospital she believes sent her forms in late, Geisinger Medical Center in Danville. Boyer tells me after she'd been waiting months for her insurance money, she got in touch with Geisinger's Medical Records Department. She wanted to know about her claim forms.
I would get the same story. It's either lost in transit, or they had so many offices, and they're so busy, and it has to go through all these channels. And I had to wait until they got to my form.
A Geisinger representative tells me the hospital sent her forms out soon after it got them in April of 1986. But that's 5 months later than when Helen Boyer says she dropped off the forms at Geisinger. Boyer blames the confusion on hospital bureaucracy. The hospital doesn't buy that. When I explained things to the insurance company, it decided to give the Luzerne County woman the benefit of the doubt. That and a check for $3,064.
Did it make a difference? Yes, because you're honest people. You care.
Well, I'm glad we could help. Now, Geisinger Representative Ted Townsend tells me most claim forms the hospital handles are set out in a couple of weeks, no ifs, ands, or buts, and he says the problem that Helen Boyer ran into is extremely rare. Well, whatever the reason for your consumer problem, it's reasonable to try and get action, and you know that Action 16 is the place to turn. We're at Box 16 in Avoca, Pennsylvania, and our zip is 18641. Karen?
Thank you, Jerry. The Weather Watch is next with our chief meteorologist, Tom Clark, and we're all looking ahead to the weekend, Tom. I don't think I like the umbrella there.
Between now and then, Karen, keep it handy.
Okay.
Have some rain on the way, and when we come back, I'll tell you what I think is going to come down for the weekend. Now, you're watching Newswatch 16 on WNEP TV, and we're proud to serve Hughesville and all of Lycoming County.
Catch the fun, they're on the run. You can bet on it. Pocono Downs. Come get your share of over $20 million in cash at Pocono Downs, where the winning is fun. Bet on it. Have a great dinner. Pocono Downs is the winning ticket. Live harness racing every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday. Come feel the excitement at Pocono Downs, where the winning's fun. Catch the fun, they're on the run. You can bet on it at Pocono Downs. Pocono Downs, Route 315, Wilkes-Barre.
If your car needs tires and you don't know where to turn to McCarthy for quality General tires. Visit McCarthy's new high-performance centers. Ask our high-performance specialist about General's XP 2000 series high-performance radials. And turn to McCarthy for tune-ups, brakes, mufflers, satisfaction guaranteed. And right now, register to win this gas-powered mini racer at 5 regional McCarthy tire locations.
Well, Tom Clark, what are you holding tonight out there in the backyard?
Well, Karen, another postcard. Spent some time today with the 5th graders at the Coltmont Elementary School in Northumberland County. And they made this neat card for me. And inside, lo and behold, there's me. And once again, proof that TV makes you look about 10 pounds heavier. At least 10 pounds. I want to thank all the students for the great time I had today down there talking about meteorology. Now, it's not too late to enter our air conditioner contest, and the first and second prize winners will each win one of these quality room air conditioners. We also have 40 runner-up prizes. Our 40 runners-up will choose either a WNEP baseball cap or a WNEP coffee mug. Now here's how to enter. On a postcard or on the back of an envelope, put your name, address, and telephone number and the exact date and nearest full hour when you think it will first reach 85 degrees in the WNEP TV backyard. Now, we won't open envelopes, so please print your entry on the back of a postcard or an envelope. You can mail your entry to Air Conditioner, WNEP TV, Wilkes-Barre Scranton Airport, Avoca, Pennsylvania, 18641. Entries must be mailed, and they must reach us 3 days before the temperature hits 85. In case of a tie, a drawing will be held from among correct entries to determine the winner. So good luck. My weather watcher tonight, Jimmy Jacobs in Kingston, tells me 64 degrees now at his place, cloudy. Sam Wolf in Northumberland checks in with 57 and cloudy skies, low stratus clouds, and Gina Sabrick in Tobyhanna has a cool 49 now and some low stratus clouds over the Poconos tonight. There's a view from Skycam 16 today, flying over the rolling hills and dales of beautiful Lycoming County. Too bad the sun wasn't out today. It'd look even nicer. 58 out back now, humidity 74%. The wind is from the south at 9 and gusty. The barometer holding steady at 30.04. 63 the high today, a few peaks of sun from time to time. 49 this morning, 85 and 24 are the records. 1 year ago today, 5 inches of wet snow fell in the backyard, up to 2 feet fell in the Poconos 1 year ago today. An unpleasant thought. Here's the satellite view, a lot of cloud cover over Pennsylvania and the eastern part of the country. Cold front over the Great Lakes will be pushing through by daybreak tomorrow, and I'm counting on that high to come on down and control our weather for at least Saturday, and I think it will at this point. A nice-looking weekend on the way for at least the first half, anyway. Here's the radar view now, eastern and central Pennsylvania, just cloudy, but we do have some showers over the western part of the state and a few thunderstorms down to the south. This rain area moving very slowly to the east. So for tonight, it'll stay cloudy over the entire area. Good chance for some rain late tonight over western sections, and temperatures holding in the lower 50s to upper 40s. The wind tonight will be out of the south at 5 to 15. Sunrise time for tomorrow morning, 6:11, and the sun sets now at 7:53. So for tonight, a bit of drizzle developing in some areas. Otherwise, it'll be cloudy, kind of cool and damp. Some rain developing late tonight to the west. Looks like some rain for the rush hour tomorrow, and it could even rain through parts of the mid and afternoon hours before that cold front moves on through and we get some clearing tomorrow night. About 1/3 of an inch of rain is possible tomorrow, 58. 62, a beautiful day on Saturday, Karen, and partly sunny on Sunday.
Oh, that's nice. The Cherry Blossom Festival's coming up, so he wants some nice weather for that.
Nice for that, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Tom. Albie Oxenrider is in for Tim Carlson on the Sports Watch with afternoon Phillies highlights. Plus, the sports star of the week who does not race against the clock when she goes out to the track.
This is Big Wheel, your ticket to the new Pennsylvania Lottery Instant Games Grand Prize drawing. Every Saturday night, 5 finalists are drawn from claimed free tickets received the week before. Then, when this wheel spins, one finalist can win up to $1 million. It could be you. So, for prizes up to $50,000 instantly, plus free tickets that could lead to $1 million each week, play the new instant game, Big Wheel.
I'm sure you recognize me, even without this. I'm a celebrity.
You know, darling, I love the life of a celebrity. There's so many rewards.
My whole life has changed since I became a celebrity. Boy, has it changed.
It's not who you know, but what you drive that makes you a celebrity. At Celebrity Coach, you'll get the recognition you deserve because you came to the right place.
It's never too late to become a celebrity. Come on, Sonny, let's go for a spin.
Sure, I thought about the Honda Accord until I drove the Ford Taurus. Now I drive the design leader, not a look-like, and I got more car for my money. The Ford Taurus was Motor Trend's Car of the Year for '86 and one of Car and Driver's top 10 for '87. And since imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, I chose the original, Ford Taurus.
Now get 3.9% financing or up to $400 cash back on every new Ford Taurus.
When only the best will do. Quality parts, Ford dealers and you.
Finally, finally tonight, where were you 1 year ago today? How soon we forget that most of us were digging out from under snow, and lots of it. More than 2 feet of snow on the ground in Wayne and Pike counties on this day last year. Yes, the April snow of '86 caught us off guard and made life miserable. Instead of tiptoeing through the tulips, many cars and trucks were stuck up to their bumpers in snow. What a way to welcome spring, and what a difference a year makes. And that is Newswatch 16 for this Thursday. Be sure to join us tonight on Newswatch 16 Update at 11 when we'll take a field trip to the dumps. For the team, thanks for joining us. Enjoy your evening.